This is part 2 of some of the most dangerous and active GD gangs in Chicago.
Yeah. Fuck you talking about? Look, one thing about we not duck. He still look like he trying to play crazy. You heard that from Charlie from Sacramento.
On this right here, on first grade.
Some of these gangs are so active that they get on Facebook Live and have shootouts in front of hundreds of random people, like this OTE member shooting at 1,300 members. This gang is called Gnaw Boys / 1300, and these guys are mostly gangster disciples. They are located around 13th and Washington in the North Lawndale neighborhood. It wasn't too much information on the Gnaw Boys set, but I'm pretty sure that these guys are a part of Sayreville 1300 too. 1300 will lose 2 well-loved members early on, and these guys was even twins. It was October 30th, 2016. Edward and Edwin Bryan, aka Lil Ed and Lil Bit. These guys were both 17 years of age, but on this day they were standing in the 1300 block of North Hudson Avenue in the late night hours of 3:15 a.m. when police say a dark vehicle drove by and someone inside fired multiple shots at the twins. Edwin was shot in the neck and the back. Edward was shot in the chest and the head. This was a big loss for 1300, and these guys beef hard with a gang called OTE. This next gang, I couldn't find too much information on it, but they go by Splash Gang / 2100. These guys are GDs and are located on 21st and Pulaski in the North Lawndale neighborhood. I couldn't find any notable members that died from this gang, so if you know any, make sure you comment them down below. Doe Gang / MMW is the next set we'll be talking about, which these guys are mostly GDs too. Their main territory is around 19th and Comiskey, which is located in the North Lawndale neighborhood. These guys beef hard with LDM, FMG, and Poppy Gang. These guys allegedly been active since the 90s. They would lose a notable member on June 17th, 2015. The guys that killed them would try to rob this 15-year-old boy before they killed him. It was around 10:55 p.m. on that day, where Kamon Wheeler, aka Mon from Doe Gang, was with the group in the 4100 block of West Collerton Street when someone tried to rob him, pulled out a gun, and shot him multiple times. Kamon was taken to Mount Sinai Hospital where he died at 11:38 p.m. He was only 15 years of age at his death, and he was so much of a well-loved member that they renamed the set Mon World 1900 after his death. This next set is a really active set in the North Lawndale neighborhood. They go by Fly Life / Remy Rell Gang. These GDs are located on 16th and Keeler, and their enemies include Poppy Gang, Slug Life, and FMG. And this set is actually allied with Doe Gang, which is the set we just went over. This set will lose 2 well-loved active members in the same day, on April 18th, 2010, and one of these members would actually be renamed after the gang. At about 9:50 p.m, police and paramedics would respond to the 1600 block of South Comiskey Avenue, where they found 2 men unresponsive, suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. One named Amos Daly Jr., aka Ammo from Fly Life, and the other one was Jarrell Love, aka Remy Rell from Fly Life. Jarrell Love was a well-loved member, and after his death, they renamed the gang Remy Rell Gang. Plus, at his memorial, they had hundreds of Remy bottles around his memorial. So this goes to show you how much he was a well-loved member. But this next gang is located on Greenshaw and Springfield. They go by Sha Mob / 3900. Located in the North Lawndale neighborhood, these guys are gangster disciples, having rivals like Tenio Mob, TMG, Poppy Gang, and Johnny Mob. These guys has also been active since the early 2000s. One of the first notable members that these guys lost was back on October 25th, 2009. His name was Jamal Taylor, aka Jay from Sha Mob, and the guy that allegedly killed her was Martell Hill, 31 years of age. He allegedly shot him 12 times on that day as he sat in his car in the 3900 block of West Crenshaw. He was shot 8 times in the head and 4 times in the chest. Martell Hill, 31 years of age, was sentenced to 80 years in jail for the murder of Jamal Taylor. This next set will go through some crazy situations, with them allegedly sexually assaulting a 15-year-old girl on Facebook Live. These guys are mostly gangster disciples, new breeds, and traveling vice lords, and their territory is around Roosevelt and Lawndale, which is in the Harmon Square area, and they beef with sets like Sicko Mob and Fifth City. But on November 21st, 2019, these guys will lose a notable member. McKee Swift, aka Shorty Grown from Beam Team, was in the backyard at about 6:50 p.m. in the 1300 block of South Lawndale Avenue when shots were rang out. Smith was hit in the chest and the hip and was taken to Mount Sinai Hospital where he was pronounced dead from his injuries. But around March 2017, this set would go through a crazy situation. They would actually go live on Facebook while they were sexually assaulting a 15-year-old girl.
All of those involved in the assault.
These are little boys terrorizing a neighborhood, and for this to be allowed, this is not something that just happens.
Family and friends of the victim identify the attackers as a group of teens calling themselves the Beam Team. It's the same name that appears on a screenshot of the Facebook Live video.
She was receiving multiple threats after the situation happened, but I still don't think any of these members got arrested for this situation. Someone says it's a group of kids walking around in a huge pack, and they act out and post up in front of your house. And he says if you tell them to move, they act like you're doing something wrong. I couldn't find too much information on these next two sets, but these guys are called Rube City /2800, and these guys are GDs located on Madison and California in the East Garfield Park. This next set I couldn't find any pictures that I could use, but these guys are called MPF /Ike Sims, and these guys are GDs and traveling vice lords located on Maypole and Kinsey, and these guys are also located in the East Garfield Park neighborhood. This next set though is called YBH /Fro Gang. These guys are GDs located on Monroe and Costner. These guys are in the West Garfield Park neighborhood. These guys have been active since the 90s, beefing with everybody else in the West Garfield Park. It would be June 12, 2013 when these guys would lose a well-loved member. Derek Burrows, aka Fro, from the YBH set, was in the 5200 block of West Quincy Street when he was shot in the head, chest, and arms. After the shooting, he was taken to West Suburban Hospital, but later was transported to Stroger's Hospital where he would die. He was only 30 at the age of his death, and they would rename the gang Fro Gang in his honor. I'm pretty sure that this next gang is the shorties that branched off from State Boys CMG, which they go by 021 State Boys or Sony Side Do It Gang. These guys are GDs located on 21st and State, which is in the South Loop area. They beef hard with Rudeville, Darkside, and Gorilla Town. But these guys will lose a notable member on June 9th, 2018, and he was an OG from State Boys. His name was Thomas Davis, aka T Streets. This is not actually the T Streets from 051 Young Money, and I couldn't find any pictures of this T Streets. But on that day around 6:10 a.m., he was in the 4500 block of South Champlain Avenue when he was found with multiple gunshot wounds and was pronounced dead at the scene. This next gang is a fraction of the 757 set, which these guys are EBK, which means they beef with every other set. They go by Lawless /Booney Boys, which are GDs located on 35th and Rhodes, right in the Bronzeville neighborhood. Plus, I have a whole crazy hit list on my page about 757, so make sure you go check that out. Remember, there's hundreds of different sets and gangs throughout Chicago, and many more BD sets, GD sets, Latin gangs, and new breed sets, which we'll be getting to in later videos. But that'll be about it for this video. Make sure you like or dislike, comment, and subscribe, and let me know down in the comments what y'all want to see next. And as always, stay blessed, stay well. Yeah, I'm out.